Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Fleming, welcoming you to what we hope to be one of the most exciting automobile races of the sports year. The reason we say that is because we have a field today of proven champions. People like Richard Petty, David Pearson, A.J. Foyt, Bobby Allison, Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and, of course, the defending champion of this race, Benny Parsons. We also have some young chargers out there, Dave Marcus and Darrell Waltrip. And we have one of the most unusual front rows in the history of the 500 here. On the pole, car number 83 is Remo Stott, a former corn farmer from Keokuk, Iowa, a good driver in the USAC stock car circuit. And next to him, car number 81, driven by a rookie, a former truck driver from Davenport, Iowa, Terry Ryan. To explain how they got there and some of the ramifications of this week, let's call in our expert of today, world driving champion, Jackie Stewart.
Well, thank you, Bill. Great to be at Daytona on a beautiful sunny day. I think the story, of course, the front row of the grid, well, it is different because Remo and his partner there in the front row got there because of the disallowed times in qualifying last Sunday. The fastest 3 times were disallowed and put further back in the grid. But the 2 in the front, after all, were still 4th and 5th, which are very creditable times, particularly in the company that you see here. But I have to think, being a race driver and this being the biggest of them all here at Daytona, that people like Richard Petty and David Pearson are going to be awful close when the time comes.
And a bit of a dogleg as they come down the home stretch. Now as the cars go into turn 3, Remo Stott and Terry Ryan. That'll be on the front row. Then Dave Marcus in 71, Waltrip in 88, Buddy Baker in 15, Petty in 43. And then as we come by, we've got Pearson in 21 and Allison in 2. In 14, we've got Cuckoo Marlin, Richard Brooks in 90 next to him. Lenny Pond in 52, Earl Ross in 54, Neil Bonnet in 12, Cale Yarborough in 11, Jimmy Hurtubise in 95, David Hobson 73, Cease Gordon in 24, Walt Ballard in 30. And as they come in, the pace car is in. We're going to get a green flag. The green flag is out, and Remo Stott on the pole. The white car really stands on it. Terry Ryan next to him, Dave Marcus in the red car right behind. And next to him is Waltrip. And take a look at Buddy Baker trying to slide down on the inside. That's the white car, currently in 5th place on the inside. But it's Remo Stott still in the lead as they go into turn 2. Next to him is Terry Ryan, the truck driver from Davenport, Iowa. The one thing they really want to do today is to hang on to that lead for that first lap. As they flash down that backstretch, the car's strung out a bit, and it is Remo Stott still trying to hang on the lead, but Buddy Baker had slid in there. Buddy Baker in car number 15. And right behind him is Richard Petty. Then Terry Ryan, then Remo Stott. So it's Buddy Baker who said, I've got a feeling today maybe I can do it. Here he comes, a fellow who has never won the Daytona 500, coming off the best year he's ever had, 1975, as they swing by here. At the end of one lap is Buddy Baker, Richard Petty. And I'm checking the course to see if everybody got started. Jackie, I believe all 42 cars are on the course.
Yes, it's a clean start all the way through. And I think immediately you see these 2 superstars coming up there right through the field immediately.
All right, A.J. Foyt started in 31st position today, and there he is right now. He said that he wanted to really go out there and not stay back in the pack. He doesn't like it back there. Next to him, incidentally, in 32nd position, car number 72, Benny Parsons. He started there a year ago and won the race. That's how much A.J. has to go. As you see the front of the pack coming in at the end of 2. It is Baker, followed by Richard Petty and Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah, car smoking there as they were coming round there. In fact, he's going to pull into the pits. There was a car smoking badly, and he's pulled into off.
Okay, that is Neil Bonnet, rookie, car number 12. Neil Bonnet from Hueytown, Alabama, from the hometown of Bobby Allison. Another car coming by, but as we swing down the backstretch, we see that Buddy Baker and Richard Petty are hanging right in there, and there is A.J. Foyt. I'm trying to pick up now how many positions A.J. may have picked up on the field. Look at him go, though. I'll tell you one thing about A.J. He knows exactly the groove on this track and where he wants to move. At the end of 3 laps, it's Buddy Baker in the lead, Richard Petty, and then Darrell Waltrip, Terry Ryan, and David Pearson. And they're swinging by at better than 180 miles an hour. Back in just a moment. We are on lap number 5. 195 laps to go, and can you believe that A.J. Foyt, who started in 31st position today, has already worked himself up to position number 13 on the race course. And a car smokes as they go into turn 3 over there. An engine is blown in the second group, and as the first group comes into the number 4 turn, they swing by car number 90. That is driven by Richard Brooks. At the end of 5 laps, in the lead right now is David Pearson in car number 21. David Pearson, who has never won the Daytona 500. That is a surprising fact, but neither he nor Bobby Allison nor Buddy Baker has ever won this prestigious race. Although today we have former winners in the field: Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, A.J. Foyt, and Benny Parsons. Down the backstretch, it's Buddy Baker now who has taken the lead over David Pearson, and Darrell Waltrip is still hanging in there third. And now another pass has Pearson, and Waltrip gets a beautiful draft and goes right behind David Pearson, and that means that Baker falls into third place. Richard Petty now fourth as they swing by at the end of 6 laps. Now Waltrip looks like he might try to make that move. That's the green and white car, number 88 on the inside, right alongside David Pearson. Buddy Baker in that draft, in the slipstream, gets the added horsepower of the car ahead of him, and he slides by David Pearson. It may look like David Pearson slowed down a bit there, but when you combine the horsepower of 2 cars, you get nearly 1,100 horsepower swinging through there.
Well, one of the things David Pearson's obviously waiting for, he was coming off of turn 2 right now and going down the back chute. You see Buddy Baker in 15, the white car, getting past Darrell Waltrip in the 88 car. So there he goes, Buddy Baker, a big man, 6 foot 6 inches high, a big strong man, a Daytonan really, because this is where he's done a lot of his work. He's almost local here.
He's a boy out of Charlotte, North Carolina, whose daddy, Buck Baker, was one of the great pioneers of stock car racing in America. All right, at the end of 7 laps, it's Buddy Baker in the lead. And right behind is Darrell Waltrip, car number 88. Tell you one thing about Darrell Waltrip. He won one of the qualifying 125s here. And in that Gatorade Chevy, a lot of people said if you want to pick a long shot for today's race, pick Waltrip. A native-born Kentuckian who now lives in Tennessee. So there goes Waltrip into the lead as he swings by Buddy Baker. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, the biggest guy in this field, who looks like he should be a defensive tackle on a football team, Buddy Baker has the lead, and he's followed very closely by Darrell Waltrip, cars number 15 and 88. Buddy Baker started in the number 5 position. There's a bad accident, not a bad one, but a spinning car down this front straightaway, and he is just on the apron. Fortunately, he did not get onto the race course itself. And I'm trying to see the number of the car, Jackie, whether you can see it or not.
Yes, it's Saltwater who spun down there. He came off of the dog leg, and you can see the yellow being thrown there. He did come off of the dog leg right in front of the main grandstands here. Spun right down there. Doesn't look as if he's hit very much indeed, but it is Saltwater.
It is Salt,
the man who had the enormously big accident in Indianapolis a few years ago, recovered from it, but he's sitting stationary at the moment.
Saltwater looked like he was going into a bad spin down this front straightaway. I don't know whether Salt's engine blew or whether somebody's ahead of his blew that threw oil on the track. Let's take a look at it.
And there he goes, spinning all the way through there. You can see the car in front of him smoking on the right-hand side of the picture. Has just gone out. Salt keeping the car out of trouble. Didn't hit any other vehicles. This is important to keep the car low in the speedway. Once you get off the racetrack, never to go back up in front of the other cars, because remember, they're doing 180 miles an hour, and if you're T-boned by one of them, I'm afraid that's one of the few times when you could really have a fatal accident here in this very safe NASCAR circuit. So they're running under the yellow, and Saltwater is now going back to the pit. Saltwater going back there will obviously have to change his tires because they'll have flat spots in the tires. This means when the car has spun round, he's locked up the wheels, the tires go flat where they've been scrubbing against the road surface, and it means the tire is no longer round. And of course, there's a strong vibration through the steering. The driver can't handle it, and that's what Saltwater is now going back to the pits for.
All right, and everybody else will be coming into the pits now. As they come in, it's Buddy Baker into the pits, Darrell Waltrip into the pits. In fact, everybody, Pearson, all the cars are coming in to have a look at those tires, take on fuel. The last 10 laps have been completed by the leader.